Hi guys, this is Pashweetie. Today I'm going to be reacting to this Done Dare video right here that that I'm sure I'm not going to totally agree with. Um, and it's kind of interesting. It's really it's really like I hope that they kind of define feminism because feminists don't really do that too much on the internet. I mean, maybe feminists do that outside of the internet, but based off of what I've been able to tell, feminists on the internet really never define feminism very clearly in what they support and what they don't support. So let's just watch and let's see what goes on, okay, guys?
Feminism has become something of a dirty word in certain circles. Lately, a lot of
Okay, gonna stop that right there. Um, Yes, because it's very strictly tied to. I don't want to just go right out there and say it, but gosh darn, I'm going to go out there and say it. Feminism is very distinctly tied to gender superiority in the favor of women. All right, and I'm not going to back that up with anything for now.
high-profile women like Shailene Woodley, Meryl Streep, and Marion Cotillard
Good for them. I love people who are counterculturists and who are just willing to just not follow the bullshit trends that everyone else sets for them.
have gone on record saying they are not feminist.
Which basically puts them up against most of the female most of the female race. So give them some credit, Huffington Post. Which, by the way, I lost so much respect for Huffington Post once they posted this. But anyway, so let's just continue on. They have so many points.
There's even a group called Women Against Feminism.
Good. If there wasn't, I would be really disappointed in humanity because if there aren't people willing to just like, disagree with things that are mainstream, then I think that we would have something closer to fascism.
But what are these women really saying when they declare they aren't feminist?
They're saying that they're individuals with their own brains and thought processes that don't have to tie into your stupid agenda.
What they think they're saying is,
Oh. The nerve of this fucking video. What they think they're saying is, here, let me just like completely destroy any sense of like self-worth that you just had by like basically saying that you don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, cool. Wait, okay.
I don't hate men.
Right. I'm not saying that feminists hate men, but I am saying that a lot of feminists do things and say things that support gender superiority and not in the favor of men.
I love men. I don't think women are better than men.
I mean, you're basically just describing what everyone kind of thinks is feminism, anyways. And there's a good you're I hate things like this because they're basically saying that people can't think for themselves. So here you go. I'm going to spit it right out for you. I'm going to give it to you clean because I am better than you. Oh my god.
I'm not that kind of woman. You know, the crazy, bra burning, feminazi kind.
I mean, I never really saw anything wrong with like the bra burning, you know. But I think that free the nipple is probably never going to really work out because it's not as easy as kind of because men aren't sexual objects in today's culture, and that has to do with biological reactions to boobs. Men don't really have anything sexual on their body besides like a penis, and that's partially cultural but also partially biological.
I'm a cool woman.
Oh, fuck off with that shit. They're not doing it just to get some male plus. Like, I mean, you guys should understand this. You guys should understand when people make fun of male feminists and they're saying like they're going up to male feminists and saying, "Oh, gosh darn you male feminists. You're just trying to get all of the poon." When in reality, they probably don't even get any more than the rest of us, and neither do female anti-feminists. In fact, I mean, actually, most of them are actually already attractive. They don't need the help.
I don't want to put women above men.
For anyone who needs
Which is exactly what feminism does. Thank you very much.
a refresher, this is what feminism means at its core.
Okay, here we go. Here's a definition of feminism as its core. And I am honestly surprised that they have the balls to try to define feminism in this short 2-minute video, when in reality, feminism stretches across so many different things with so many different viewpoints. I honestly doubt that this will even cover like the majority of big feminist topics.
Feminist, a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Hating
That's egalitarianism, because, well, I mean, if you want to define feminism like that, then feminism is also egalitarianism. And then I don't. Why do feminists need a separate word from egalitarianism if they're the same freaking thing? I can never understand that. Okay, let's keep on going.
men and being a feminist are actually not connected at all.
1 second, guys. I'm gonna show you. And let's just look up feminist. No, let's look up true feminism. And we're going to debunk what they just said right there. Okay. Okay. Let's see what this is about, shall we? Let's start out right here, okay? Now, there are things that people don't analyze, right? So, if this is true feminism right here, why is there 2 females? Not equal, not egalitarian. Which hell happen to be females? Okay, there's one. Poor guy.
I realized I hate men was when
Oh, this is this is satire. Okay. Wait, no, is this real?
I realized that they are
Brosburn 16. Actually, this is a really good
the
video.
entire reason why I am oppressed as a woman. And I don't think it's something
I love this. I'm gonna watch that later, but that's obviously that there's no way that's not satire. Sorry.
Lena Dunham's book is the only book I've ever read.
It's like the Bible.
Except the Bible.
Okay, rip. Another satirical video. Okay, so let's go back to this, shall we? This is This is a good example of the vast differences in feminism and how feminism doesn't really tie together at all sometimes. Okay, love yourself first. Okay, that's like not a feminist value whatsoever. Whatsoever. Like, I have never seen a feminist talk about. Well, actually, you know what? That could tie into something else, but as a concept, love yourself first has nothing to do with gender equality, which is surprise what this says. And these both claim to be the true core message of feminism. Right? This is steps to true feminism. This is the reason why feminism is such a difficult thing to talk about, because there is no such thing almost, because there is too many people with too many different beliefs on what true feminism is. But let's just keep on watching this. Share equal responsibilities in your relationship. Okay, cool. Actually, maybe not cool, because like this is all a little bit more complicated than they make it out to be, because some people are going to be, like this different situations call for different, splits of responsibilities. Say that the guy does all the work, just like old patriarchy says, and the female stays at home, and they're both happy with that. Why should they try to break the man's back by having him do all the house chores on top of paying for everything? uh, equality is different than literally half and half sometimes, and that sounds very, backwards. But if you really think about it, like it's hard to make an equal balancing scale because life is so messy, and you can never really get to pure equality. But what really matters is that both people in a relationship are happy and they don't feel like they're doing everything, and this more comes down to relationship dynamics more than anything else, honestly. But okay, I can see that is being towards the right area. Celebrate your gender, embrace it, and I hope this means the binary system instead of the kind of Tumblrina definition. But I once again don't really see an issue with this, except I think that they say gender in here, so that's not really a problem. Stop using phrases that patronize your gender. Oh boy, favorite one. Okay. Oh boy. This is true feminism, and then this is why you should think it's bullshit. Okay, we're gonna stop watching this because I'm sure that this is just a gold mine, and actually I'd like to watch this for another video. But stop using phrases that patronize your gender. Has absolutely nothing to do with like gender equality. That's freedom of speech, honey, and that has absolutely nothing. Like I can say all the meanest shit to my friend, and it could have absolutely no meaning. So why in the hell are you gonna just screech my freedom of speech to a halt uh for gender equality when real? Oh my god, I just realized the dislike-like ratio on this. I think this is a favorite one to attack. So next video we're not going to attack such an easy target.
Not even a little bit.
Feminism is about equality of the sexes, but right now, one sex has a lot.
Bam! Bam, bam, bam! They screw themselves over in their own freaking video. You know, I think that the sexes are equal and all, but really, uh, I mean, we're looking for gender equality right here. But right now, we really need to focus on one side more than the other because there's clearly a difference in equality between men and women. And women have it so rough in these different areas, like the wage gap. I bet they'll bring up the wage gap.
More power than the other.
Men are not systematically oppressed based on their gender, and neither are females. If you were, you wouldn't be making this gosh darn video. Let's look up systematic oppression because feminists seem to everyone loves definitions, right? Systematic oppression definition. And this might have actually, okay, I'll show you guys this. Institutional oppression is the systematic mistreatment of people within a society, the social identity group, which, by the way, I guess you could consider being female an identity group, but really it has nothing to do with identity. Gender-wise, yes, but being born with the vagina, no, that is not your identity. Okay, so. And the issue with this whole thing is they're talking about cisgender females, right? People who aren't trans or anything like that, they don't really get into that, and that's the messy part of all this. But let's continue talking. Supported and enforced by the society. Oh, what the hell? pcc.edu, that's not a good source. The Huffington Post. Okay, let's look up Webster Dictionary. That's a pretty... Oppression. Let's just look up oppression. Unjust or cruel exercise of authority or power. Something that oppresses, especially being unjust or excessive exercise of power. A sense of being weighed down in body or mind. Okay, well, I mean, give me an example of something that we have systematically done to oppress women recently, like within the last year. I don't know. Maybe I'm just blind. Maybe I just need to be taught. Maybe I am just ignorant of the reality of the situation. But I have not once seen an unjust or cruel exercise of authority or power towards women in the United States on a systematic scale, which is like basically the government or everyone. But you know, if anyone disagrees with me, please link some sort of, some sort of examples. Maybe I'm wrong.
Are not systematically oppressed based on their gender, and that's a fact.
Is it? Is it a fact? Because you didn't give any sort of citation or any sort of, like, anything to back that up.
Women are, and that's a fact.
Is it a fact because you didn't give anything to support it?
So if you believe any of the following:
Reproductive rights,
equal pay for equal work,
Let's see. Oh, hey. Let's go. I have this open right now. I was right, okay? They've already touched on abortion. They've already touched on the wage gap. They've already touched on the patriarchy. All that's left is the rape culture. By the way, this is my little main topics for feminists.
seeing diverse bodies, ethnicities.
Okay. So they're touching on racism within feminism, which let's go back to their here, let's open up a new window and go back to their this one's so easy to just destroy. I'm sorry guys, but this is just like the first thing that I kind of stumbled upon. I know that it's not a very sound feminist argument, and I plan to do more sound feminist arguments in the future, but for now this is just a fun thing to tear apart, you know?
What feminism means at its core.
Feminist, a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Okay, so by their own definition, all that feminism is the sociological, economical, and political equality of the sexes. How does that have anything to do with race? Really? It has nothing to do with race. So why are you now trying to talk about race? Okay, let's go back.
And gender expressions on screen and in magazines.
providing
Okay, gender's still, I guess, part of the sexes, sort of.
education to 62 million girls who
Okay, and now here's another issue that feminism has. Are we talking about the United States, or are we talking about some poor-ass, random-ass, poor Middle Eastern area? Because the poor Middle Eastern areas have nothing to do with modern-day feminism. Honestly. The Middle Eastern people, we don't even have control over them, you know? Like, we might be America and all, and we might be wanting to shove our nose into every other little country in the world, but we really don't have a control of the culture and how they run themselves, so why do we talk about it? Because I haven't ever seen a feminist do shit for at least none of these feminists online. I haven't seen any of them. If people have done stuff over this, good on them. But I don't see these people doing shit for people in other countries. And talking about it certainly isn't going to help because they don't even have access to media, more or less.
who don't have access to it,
Ending sexual violence.
Ending sexual violence, the rape culture again.
having women in government,
Oh yeah, there we go. We got it. We got all of them. Rape culture, abortion, wage gap, patriarchy. So I'm glad that this is kind of proving that my summary isn't so bad.
having women CEOs,
You know.
Having women CEOs, which will be a reality in the upcoming generation due to a huge education gap between men and women and the next generation, Generation X. It's like, the thing is that if you strive really hard to be a CEO as a woman, the only thing that's holding you back is yourself in modern day society. And prove to me that that is not a reality. and I will shut the fuck up and get the hell out.
Basic gender equality.
That is not basic gender equality. And I can tell you why that's not basic gender equality, because we'll be touching on each one of these topics.
Guys, you're probably a feminist.
Surprise! Let's abduct you into our cult.
Feel free to identify or not identify any way you want. But if
Feel free to identify or not identify any way you want, but if you do identify as not a feminist, you're basically evil.
you say you're not a feminist, at least understand what the term
At least understand that you're a piece of shit.
actually means.
And
No, I kind of... I mean, from this video, I really get what real feminism is, clearly. This is probably the worst example of real feminism, but this is my point. This is my point, okay? Everyone claims to be a feminist doctrinist, and they all say that this is the core parts of feminism. And then it's just like, they don't add up. Feminist arguments don't add up. They counter themselves.
if you think that you're a humanist,
Ziva.
Oh, whoa. That would be too egalitarian.
We gotta go. We just don't have time for this.
Let's just bring something up and completely ignore it. Like, there's a 2-minute video, alright? We have lost all people at this point. People don't have past a 2 minutes freaking attention span. So let's get the fuck out. And good night.
Okay.
The Huffington Post, and now this. Completely lost any sort of respect for the Huffington Post at this point. So, once again, they bring up all these different things, which really just say that basically females have it shitty, and that, you know, that they're the clearly oppressed gender, and fuck the men, because they're the ones causing this. All right. Thank you, everyone, and a good night.